15 everyday French habits that blow Americans away.
Today we're diving into the 15 things that confuse most visitors, to how they greet you, to how they never ever wear sweatpants. And I've learned this the hard way walking into a store saying excusez-moi instead of saying bonjour, and I got a stare that could freeze the sane. Have you ever wondered why the French sit at a cafe with one glass of wine for 2 hours, or why your soda arrives with no ice? Yeah, welcome to France. Now, some habits are charming, but some of them will test your patience. So are these quirks rude, strange, or secretly brilliant? Maybe the French are living smarter than all of us. Let's uncover those 15 things that French people do that shock many tourists. Allez, on y va. The first one in that series has to do with people sitting for hours nursing a cup of coffee, a cappuccino, or best, a glass of wine. You know, we have this culture in the United States. You order something, you eat it, and you get out.
They want to flip the table.
So you feel guilty and everything. Absolutely not here. In the culture here, you can nurse a glass of wine for hours, and they'll sit and...
Let's be honest, though. Who's nursing a glass of wine for hours? I mean, you're having one after another, right? Like, you just keep going. I'm just kidding. I mean, I like the taste of wine, even if it didn't get me a buzz. But still, one glass over a couple of hours, you're not going to feel anything from it. So I guess you are really just a wine connoisseur that absolutely loves the taste of wine. But I'm all for actually sitting at restaurants longer.
They'll talk.
And I've been too many times, it's like, oh, we better get dessert. We've been here a long time. Or I better tip really well because we've been here a long time. It's designed that way. Everybody does it.
By the way, if they're asking you to move along and everything, which may happen, that means you're right across a tourist attraction. But a regular cafe in a regular street,
yeah, you
can sit there for hours.
And the only exception that I would say, they won't chase you out. But if you're getting towards the end of a lunch place that closes between lunch and dinner, they need to go and take a break.
They have a hard cut,
then they'll
like
tell you to
around
leave.
2:30, 3 o'clock. They'll close and they won't reopen until 7. So they'll close the place. Yeah, that's true.
From my childhood, I remember.
I think that's such a unique thing of like just closing the restaurant down and then opening it back up at like 7 at nighttime. Really interesting because like our restaurants, they have what's called happy hour. So they have a happy hour from usually it's like 2 to 4. It's like that window where most people aren't eating, and the prices are always way cheaper than they normally are. So I actually enjoy going and eating at that time.
Remember all of the jokes about French people, like, and even Robin Williams makes jokes about French people smoking.
The shocking part is that in the United States, smoking is literally banned from everywhere. But in France, you'll see a lot of people smoking in the street, smoking in the cafe, outdoors. We still hear that, we went on a terrace in a cafe and, I couldn't believe it that the people next to me were smoking, and I was...
As if I wasn't even there.
Yeah, the law says you cannot smoke indoors in France, but outdoors is fair games. Not everybody smokes outside, but
it's expected.
And if you actually see extras on the table, that's a clue that you will have smokers next to you. So just be mindful of that.
If it matters.
We saw, what did we see? We watched an American absolutely whining and bitching and moaning about the smoking, wasn't she? Because they were sitting on a terrace or like a patio and someone was smoking next to them. It's like,
to you, pay attention.
Yeah. The French don't tip much, and that's perfectly fine. This is not a tipping culture. We do tip. What we mean by tipping is we round out. For example, 25, 50. We may round out to 26, or we may round out to 30. But the 20% tipping culture like we have in the U.S. does not exist here. Then we've had that conversation with waiters in restaurants, and I'm like, please don't say that because we love Americans because they tip so well. But the problem is that we hear about restaurants that are actually asking for tips, especially if it's Americans. The service is included in the bill.
And we still do leave a tip. And the reason that we do, partly just, supporting the places and stuff, we're a little bit disruptive. We take their flow of work out of order because we take longer with each course or...
That kind of makes sense. Maybe I will still tip. Some of you are like, you don't need a tip, but I think even like 5% or 10%, if you're an American visiting, that's still pretty nice. Like they said, though, you might have a ton of questions about the menu or just get held up. Maybe you forgot some of the language.
Or people stop by and ask for a selfie. Like, different things happen with us. If they're doing extra translating or helping you with suggestions and, you know, a little bit above and beyond, it's appropriate to do something, but it doesn't need to be 20%. And we've heard from a lot of French people, it's like you're trying to impose your culture on ours, and it's not necessary. Use your discretion.
Yeah.
The next thing that shocks a lot of people, especially Americans visiting France, is French people don't do ice. I remember my mom drank ice and everything, like tons of ice, and she would have a hissy fit over here. But they don't do ice. They don't do the refills. If you have a second beverage, you're going to pay for a second beverage.
Yeah, if you order a Coke, you're getting a Coke. Do you know one of the reasons why they don't have so many ice cubes in most of the drinks?
Why?
Because they're purist. Because they're like, oh, you want to
water it down.
Yeah, and if you want to offend a French person, put ice in your wine and just watch
Ugh.
it. It's actually fun. But you don't.
Who puts ice in wine? Somebody does out there.
You cannot taste the Coke anymore. It tastes like Rotterdam, and I'm like,
ben oui.
Bah oui, it's like that.
If you want ice, for sure, you're going to ask for des glaçons.
Yeah, and don't be offended if the waiter looks at you like people don't have an ice machine. So, you know, ice is going to be a challenge if you love ice.
Ask for it and be okay if you don't get it.
Right. The French have rules for everything. They actually have rules about rules. There is il faut et il ne faut pas. Around
the things you do and the things you don't do.
Exactly. How to eat charcuterie, how to cut a cheese, how to drink wine, how to hold a baguette, how to say hello. I mean, they have rules about everything. And yet, they are very famous for breaking just about every rule as every corner they can. The French are, you know, you're just waiting in line and they'll just cut. And you'll just, you know, the line is, it's not for, c'est pas pour moi, it's not for me.
They'll walk past you like you don't even exist.
And they'll be offended, like, moi, but I am not cutting. You know, I'm like, well, yeah, you're cutting, buddy.
Many, many years ago, I heard about playing the American card because their expectations, like, oh, she doesn't know better. Play the American card if you need to, but don't expect them to do the same. And if a French person cuts you off in line while you're going into a museum or somewhere, expect it, let it roll. It's not worth fighting about.
So the next one.
No, yeah, who's gonna fight over it? I know. I probably would say something if somebody cut like directly in front of me. I feel like I would say something. I don't know. It doesn't happen. It's never really happened to me.
Being in France is
maybe like
that
once or
we
twice.
kiss each other when we meet each other, when we greet each other. It's either 2 kisses, 3 kisses, 4 kisses. I don't know what the rule is. And one of the things that was actually
what is the rule?
Is more in the United States is when I arrive in the United States, someone would, you know, open their arms, like especially a man would greet me, or one, I would give them a kiss because
it's an automatic reflex.
It's an automatic reflex. And then I've had like, you know, a man say, hey, easy boy, you know, I don't swing that way. And I'm like, well, you kiss every single person in the party. If there are 15 people in the house when you arrive, you will give 2 or 3 kisses to each person. And I remember Colleen looking at me as like, do I have to do that to everyone? And I'm like, yes, hon.
Every single one. It's common
Really?
to do that. Mwah, that's normal. If it's a special occasion or a holiday, then it's mwah, mwah, mwah. And if you go down south, I've seen 5 kisses. It's a little bit.
No, that's too much. It's only, well, it's like.
Maybe it's after 5 drinks, you do 5 kisses. I don't know what the rule is, but I've seen anywhere from 2 to 5 kisses, and it's funny.
Men and women, women and women. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even children, you'll give them a kiss. It's our culture, and it's a tradition here.
It's a simple greeting.
It's a simple greeting.
In America, you can stop by and say hello for an hour or a couple of hours. If you go to a French house and you stay under 3 hours, they're going to think you're rude. Antoine's mom came to see us in the U.S., and Antoine told me, yeah, everybody's going to be gone by 9. You know, like they got there at 7. And she's like, no, don't tell me that. Don't think you can just stop by for a quick hello. That doesn't happen in France.
3 hours, though? That's a long time. Usually I'm at a party, especially if it's like our, you know, a kid's birthday party or over at friends' houses that we don't really know, maybe new friends. Usually after like an hour and a half, like I'm looking at my wife like, is it time to go yet?
Is going to take a long time. Then there's going to be apéro, which is at least an hour and a half. Then there is the meal, which is at least 3 hours. And then the goodbyes are also forever. If you would leave after 2 hours in France, people would literally think that there is either something wrong with you, you didn't feel well and you had to leave, or worse, you're not happy with the party, and then you left.
You had a bad time.
You had a bad time, and people
Really? At 2 hours? That seems actually like a good amount of time to hang around. I mean, unless I'm having a blast and it's like late at night and then the drinks are flowing, I probably am not going to want to leave ever. But if it's like a day event, yeah, I think a couple of hours.
Would be genuinely concerned. The next thing that is shocking is the time that we eat, especially lunch and dinner. It's very standard to invite them like around 12:30, 1 o'clock. This is when people arrive at your house,
What?
and then you're going to be spending at least 1 hour with just drinks. Then we are going to have the meal around 2 p.m. And dinner is the same thing. More like, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then you'll have dinner at 9 o'clock. And considering the parties just last forever, and you're
Really?
like, oh my God, if I get there at 9 o'clock and we're going to eat for at least a couple of hours with French people, I'm going to be there forever.
You go to dinner, you're coming home tomorrow.
That's no doubt.
Another thing you're going to find in a social setting in a French home is that they will talk about all kinds of things that Americans wouldn't typically talk about.
It literally happened like a month ago. We went to my brother's house, and within the first 5 minutes, my brother made a sexually referenced joke. We talked about politics. And then religion was also addressed.
Well, it was a sexual joke about a priest that led down a whole bunch of things. That some laughing over here and some over there. Let's say they're speaking in rapid.
I honestly feel like I would enjoy talking about these topics with French people or even just Europeans in general, because Americans get so, I don't know. Like, you guys know, our country is split. It's one side thinks one way, one side thinks the other way. And it's super annoying when, like, people can't just have a conversation. Like, they have to get so emotional about everything. Probably be really nice to talk to French people because you can just open up and, like, no one's really going to take any offense. I don't think, at least. I don't.
Fire French, and you're not really at that level yet. You could think there are bad arguments going on because they get very passionate about it.
Okay,
it
they get
sounds
passionate.
like an argument.
Yeah, sounds like we're fighting,
but it's not.
We're not. We're just arguing.
Don't be put off about that
cool.
because in 5 more minutes, they're all going to be laughing and talking about something light and fluffy before they go back to talking about crazy stuff.
And the next one, which we've
absolutely
addressed
love
in other videos, is always start with bonjour. And I remember when we moved back here in 2021, I walked into the grocery store and I went to the lady and I says, excusez-moi. She raised her head, looked at me and she said, bonjour. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm like, bonjour, madame. And then I'm like, I'm sorry.
Where is the mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Like if you're in a store or any place of business and you don't start with that, and the person on the other side is feeling disrespected, imagine that you may not get the best service. If the waiter comes to your table and you just say, like, I'll have the cheeseburger, like, oh no, no.
I was under the weather, so I'm like, let's go to the doctor. And we were in a provincial town, and there was like 10 people that were already in the room. So we go in there, right? And then someone said bonjour, so we said bonjour, and then everybody in the room said bonjour, 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 bonjour. Oh my God. And then we sit, and I remember Colleen looking at me. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. The bonjour is key.
I love the little cartoons that Les Frenchies are doing. We've done one of their videos, right? I'm pretty sure we have.
It's actually your hack to friends. The next 5 have to do when you're out and about. When we go back in the United States, I go in Target or I go in Walmart, and I just cannot believe what people are wearing. French people dress up, even if it's to go to the grocery store, to go and buy some bread. There is no sweatpants, no flip-flops, and I have seen tourists wearing shorts, flip-flops, and sweatpants, and it's perfectly fine.
Nobody's really.
Okay. What if you're leaving the gym and then you stop at the grocery store on your way home? Can you wear sweatpants then? I do that all the time. If I have to like stop for an errand, I don't want to go all the way home and then have to come back out.
Judging you if you're dressed up, they're just going to know you're not Parisian.
For me to go to the grocery store when we're at home in the weekend, I wear sweatpants at home and a t-shirt, and I'm casual and everything. And she says, can you go to the grocery store? I got to put on pants, I got to put on a shirt, I got to put on a, I got to comb my hair, and I got to go.
All of it. It's just not done by the French.
Yeah, no.
The next really shocking thing for me is that in France, men pee in public. On the walls, they have open urinals that just kind of spin. It's just.
I don't know, I'm talking about a urinal. I mean, that's
I know, in the wall.
Tree. Yeah.
On the side of a building, wherever.
Well, actually, one other thing is the lack of bathrooms. I mean, there's like.
Yes, there's a lack of bathrooms. Where do the girls go?
For the ladies, I feel really bad for you, but
But the
for
guys just go.
Yeah, for the guys, there's
We
no
saw
bathroom,
these.
and you're like, I gotta go, and it's like a tree is fair game.
It's shocking and it's gross, period. In the U.S., you go and pick up your Starbucks, you go pick up your whatever, just go out walking from here to there, enjoying it. French people will not buy something and eat it on the go.
Well, actually, a pound sugar.
I actually like that. I don't really like eating on the go or in the car. Oh, that is the absolute worst. And sometimes we do it. But I will say it's like leaving our town to go on vacation and it's a 14-hour drive. So you're like, let's eat on the go. Like, let's eat in the car. But usually I don't like eating on the go.
Coca-Cola, yes.
Well, like they'll walk and they'll sit somewhere, or eating something is to be enjoyed, having a cup of coffee is to be enjoyed.
Do that with an ice cream. Yeah, an ice cream.
An ice cream, yes.
You do. Even culturally, they passed a law that is allowing people cannot eat at their desk. Even if you want to, I'm like, now I'm in a rush. I have a project. It's like it's really not culturally appropriate.
Another thing that Americans find shocking in France is that French people will stare at you. Like, they don't smile at strangers, so don't expect them to. This goofball. But no, they stare.
At least in the U.S., they look at you, but they'll pretend they were not looking. But here, they'll just look at you.
Just keep looking.
And you're like, and we don't smile at each other, too.
No, you don't. The funny thing for me is somebody said that Americans are like Labrador puppies and French people are like cats. And that's it.
That's true. Most of the shops will close midday. They'll close at noon and they'll reopen at 2, sometime at 3. That's valid for the post office, pharmacies. And one of the main reasons is...
Wait, the post office and the pharmacies also close? I didn't know. I thought it was just more like restaurants and coffee shops. Like everything closes? I had no idea.
Well, they need to stop for lunch. And since we don't eat on the go, and we don't eat at our desk, and we don't eat behind the counter, well, they'll stop. They'll go make some food, sit down and eat it, and they'll come back. We actually will go grocery shopping at 1 o'clock because we know that the grocery shop, our big grocery shop will be open, but we know that most of the French people are out having lunch. Less in Paris near touristic stuff, but if you go away and you go in a neighborhood, you're going to find many of the stores are closed between 12 and 2, and the French manage themselves around that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Les Frenchies. I'm trying to remember what video we did with them. They look super recognizable. I could probably go back and find it, but really, really good stuff. I'm going to actually hit the subscribe button so I can get a couple more of their videos. And that's it for today, you guys. I really enjoyed this one. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.